Hello guys, welcome to Ramta Solutions and welcome to your lesson on grade 11 analytical geometry. Today we are looking at the equation of a line. This is nothing new. You have been doing this. Remember when you did functions, you did straight lines, equation of a straight line. So it's really nothing new. But nevertheless, we are going to look at it. Okay, so in this video, we are going to revise whatever that you did in functions and of course what you did as well in grade 11. And then we will conclude this video by looking at some few worked examples. Okay, so without any waste of time, let's look at it. So first, revision. You guys recall that gradient, right? You guys recall that gradient M has the formula M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And you also recall that when M is positive, your line looks like this. When M is negative, your line looks like this. When M is 0, you have a line like this. All right. And then I think I should also add when M is undefined, but we don't really have to look at that. But when M is undefined, maybe let me try to squeeze them here. So we said when M is positive, your line looks like this. When M is negative, your line looks like this. When M is 0, your line looks like this. And then when M is undefined, right, undefined, maybe let me call it this. Oh no, I can squeeze it. When M is undefined, your line looks like this, isn't it? Your line looks like this. It's a vertical line. All right. So when your gradient is positive, your slope looks like this. When your gradient is negative, your graph looks like this, or your straight line looks like this. When gradient is 0, you have a constant y equals whatever, which is y equals to your y-intercept. And when gradient is undefined, you have a straight line, vertical straight line, x equals whatever. All right. X equals that intercept. Okay. All right. Now, you already know two formulas, but if you do not know, there are two formulas, of course. Now, the formula that we're going to use, one that we are familiar with is this one here, y equals mx plus c. Now, there's one that you are learning now in grade 11, which is y equals to y minus y sub 1 equals gradient m, open bracket, x minus x sub 1 close, x sub 1 close, right? So this one we termed the gradient-intercept form. It is basically the gradient-intercept form, right? It is basically the gradient-intercept form, which is, okay, let me write it. This is the gradient-intercept, and this one here is the gradient point form. Okay, so with this one, you are given a gradient and another point. But with this one, you are given gradient and a y-intercept. Okay, so this one is the gradient point. So, of course, you know M is the gradient. Now with these, this one is your y-intercept, which you can read from your graph. All right, so with this one here, this is a point x1 and y1, okay? This is your point, okay? This is your point x1, y1, okay? This is another point given. So remember, guys, I'm saying for you to be using these equations, this one is when you are given your gradient, and the y-intercept. This one is when you are given your gradient and a point. Okay, this is when you're giving your gradient and a point. But ultimately or eventually, at the end, this equation gets reduced to this form. Okay, at the end, this equation gets reduced to this form. Okay, so we are cool, right? So this is all that you need. So, and by the way, I must tell you, I prefer using this one. If I can find my gradient, trust me, I prefer using the gradient point form than the gradient intercept. All right, and I will show you. So without any waste of time, let's now try some worked examples. Okay, let's now try some worked examples. So now moving on, we are on worked examples. Now on the worked examples, so I will say example 1, I don't know how many examples we will try. Example 1, I will say determine the equation of a straight line through the points. Determine the equation of a straight line through the points. What are those points? 3, 7, and -6, 1. Okay, so now first thing first, in our solution, first thing first, we must find the gradient, right? We must find the gradient. So you remember gradient is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. What is this? This is, if I call this 1.2 and I call this 1.1, it'll be 1 minus 7, then it'll be -6 minus 3. So this is -6 over -9. So this will be, you guys have calculators, this will be +2 over 3. Right? It'll be +2 over 3. Right? It'll be +2 over 3. Or maybe let me not rush it. It's -6 over -9. So this is +2 over 3. Okay. Now, finding the equation, I will say y minus y sub 1 equals m into x minus x sub 1. Remember, guys, even if you use the gradient intercept form, it's still okay. Right. So I prefer the point, I'm going to take 3 and 7. You can use either of them. Okay. I prefer 3 and 7. So what is why I put 7? What is our gradient? 2 over 3. x1, I will put 3. Okay. All right. So this is how we do it. So remember, I'm saying you can use either of the points. Okay, you can use either of the points. Now, proceeding, this becomes y minus 7 equals 2 over 3x. 2 over 3x minus 2, I believe. Let me confirm. -2 over 3 multiplied by -3 will be -2, isn't it? It will be -2. So now proceeding, y equals 2 over 3x plus 5. This is our equation. Okay, this is our equation. Okay. Now, example 2, determine the equation of the line. Determine, oh boy. Forgot that I'm writing in black. Oh, example 2, determine the equation of the line. Determine the equation of the line Okay, now this is the diagram, and then this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis, 0.0, and then this is y minus 3 over 2. Okay, so as you can see here, whatever x value you can think of, y value is always negative. It's always negative 1 over 3. Right? It's always negative 1 over 3. So as you can see, this means delta x, as you can see here, let me change the color. As you can see here, delta y is 0. Whichever two x values you think of, y is always negative 3 over 2. Now, if that is the case, this means gradient is 0. Therefore, we can say the equation of this line is, remember, y equals to mx plus c. What is this guy? This guy is the y-intercept, right? So y equals 0x minus 3 over 2. Therefore, this means equation of this line is y equals negative 3 over 2. All right. Guys, you do not need to be writing this. I am writing this just to show you how we get to our answer. As you can see, our gradient, I said it's 0. All right. For those who are confused why I said our gradient is 0, guys, it's simply because if you recall from grade 10, we said gradient is delta y over delta x. X will keep changing, but delta y will always be negative 3 over 2. So if you say negative 3 over 2 minus negative 3 over 2, it's going to be 0, isn't it? So any 0 divided by any number, anything, is 0. Okay, so the equation of this line is negative 3 over 2, which is your y-intercept here. Okay, perfect. Now, the third example says determine the equation of a straight line. I'm going to show you now. Again, determine the equation of a straight line. Okay, given this information here, maybe I shouldn't draw it to be too large. And I should. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. So then we are also given a point here with coordinates minus 2 and 10. Minus 2 and 10. Okay. And this passes at 0. Y x. Right? So for this one, we can find the gradient in two different ways. If you like, I will use gradient point form. I'm in gradient intercept form, isn't it? I will use the gradient intercept form. Why? So this is y equals mx plus c. Now when you look at it, this is your y-intercept. What is it? Your y-intercept is 0. So this is basically y equals, allow me to just write 0 so to make sense. Y equals mx. Okay. Okay, so y equals mx. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the point given, not the y-intercept. Use another point. So I'm going to use the point given, which is minus 2 and 10. Where there's x, I put minus 2. Where there's y, I put 10. So what is this? 10 equals m, open bracket, minus 2. What is this? 10 equals minus 2m. This therefore means m equals minus 5. Therefore, this means the equation of our line is y equals negative 5x. Okay, it's negative 5x. And you can see, indeed, this is negative 5x. Look at it. It's negative 5. The slope is negative. It makes sense, isn't it? It makes sense. guys, even if you had started by finding the gradient, you're still going to find it, your gradient to be -5. But there is no need because we already have the y-intercept, right? So we can substitute the other point. Okay, we can substitute the other point. Okay, so I prefer you go this route. Remember, when you are given the y-intercept, use this formula. It'll be faster for you. Okay. So remember, guys, if you want to contact us, okay, if you want to contact us, you can visit our website at www.ramtasolutions.co.za, and from the very same website, you will get a link to our email address if you want to send us an email. If you click this icon on our website, you can send us an email and communicate with us. And do not forget to subscribe to your favorite social media, being it Twitter, now it's called X, Facebook and Instagram. You can still contact us. And of course, do not forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends and classmates. And it also, on the very same website, you will see a WhatsApp icon. If you click on it, you can chat with us on WhatsApp. And of course, if you are also looking for a tutor, we are available. So with that being said, ours ends here, guys, and we hope that you have enjoyed this lesson and you will ace your equation of a line. So, bye.